I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you should option the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid N-Line, with some pros and cons, and compare it against the competition. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, starting off with the unique fascia, and it has been reworked for 2025. So this is a new setup. The N-Line is going to have a more sporty style with premium LED daytime runnings. That goes into the limited trim as well. Underneath that, it'll just be LED daytime runnings. The lower gets the LED headlights, which is standard. I do like the 2-part setup because it looks more grown up, but keeping a sporty style with an active grille shutter and 38 horsepower more going into the hybrid variant opposed to the non-hybrid. 17 pound-feet of torque more. That's the first reason why I would choose this, because it's not only giving you 35 mpgs for the city, 35 mpgs for the highway, which is 10 and 2 over the non-hybrid with 225 horsepower, backed with 195 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission opposed to the 8-speed automatic transmission. You're getting the same towing capacity at 2,000 pounds. You're getting the same payload at 1,650 pounds. You're getting unique 19-inch wheels. Otherwise, it's a 17-inch standard, and it goes to an 18-inch wheel. Inline badging. And when you're considering, I want something sporty with more horsepower, but yet great MPGs, that's what Hyundai is giving you. And it looks more athletic than anyone in its class. Because let's face it, if you go to Honda, yeah, it's going to get better MPGs when you're talking about the hybrid trim. But you're going to be spending more money because this is under $40,000. Going to Toyota, the RAV4, that's going to be the same thing. Plus, you're not going to get as many standard features. And this is going to be a lot more unique because it keeps a more sporty design instead of a grown-up look or a European design. But let me know your thoughts in the comments to what you think is the better trim to buy, because you're also getting a better warranty for the standard and the powertrain. Now, when you go into the N-Line and the Limited, you're going to receive these LED integrated turn signals, which is not on the blue trim. When you go into the Limited, you also receive the blind spot view monitoring, which also gives you a 360-degree reverse camera, the only way you can get it. So the cameras that's on the side will project in the 10.25 digital gauge cluster, in which you don't even have to look off the road. Everything's right there. That's how safe these vehicles are. Plus, you got the Smart Park, which will move the vehicle forward and backwards. But if you watch some of my reviews, it can be a con too, because you have to be within 5 to 10 feet. Standard LED taillights, except for the blue. You're not going to receive that. It forms an H. Because this is the N-Line, look at that rear bumper. It gets more sporty with the diffuser, exposed exhaust. The trunk lid spoiler is also unique to the N-Line, so they just polish it off well. Because even if you go into a sport hybrid for Honda, it's not going to look this sporty. Yeah, it's going to get some gloss black trims, and inside it'll have an orange stitch work. Why would it be orange? It should be red. It's a sport trim. And when you're thinking about N-Line, you're wanting to get more horsepower and torque. You are getting that, but then on the con, all the trims in the hybrid get that. Taking me to the second reason why this is the better option, because you have the standard all-wheel drive system. Power liftgate is standard on all the hybrids. The non-hybrid, you got to go into the SEL, and that's going to go into 38.7 cubic feet of storage with a 12-volt LED interior lights. Bag holder on the side. Underneath the floor, gets some storage, and it goes deep. You can also lower this about 4 inches, as well as removing the side pockets there, and you can split fold the rear bench in the back at a 40-60 split, and that will maximize cargo to 74.5 cubic feet. 10-way power seat adjustment is standard for the driver. Power seat for the passenger is only on the Limited. Heated seats is standard, ventilated only on the Limited, with memory only on the Limited. Sport bolstering with the N badging. It's going to be leatherette with cloth inserts. For the N-Line, cloth is standard leather only on the Limited, as well as memory for the driver. Let's fire it up. Headroom, not going to be an issue, nor is leg space. You're going to get the sport pedals, and it's more opened up because we now have a new dashboard layout and center cluster. Bose sound system starts on this trim. A flat dashboard layout, keeping the round effect, contrast stitching, but they did forget some here, because you can see they have it clearly on the passenger side. Now they have added this storage pocket with the curved 2-screen, 1-panel layout with two 10.25 informational displays, one that's a touch screen. You have a quick wedge right here that you could toggle through, slide this over. Navigation comes standard for the hybrid. Click into the home, or you could do so with the physical buttons, as well as turning on and off the audio sound system. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Hyundai Pay. Put it into reverse with the standard reverse camera. Click the sub menu and you could change the camera layout for towing or to make it a little bit more wide. 360-degree reverse camera is only on the limited trim, as well as when you use these turn signals, blind spot view monitoring, which will indicate here if you're using a left turn. If you use the right turn, it'll indicate here. This is a full digital reader. Standard is a 4.2 informational display. This can go through an array of information and content for the driver. You can also change the layout by clicking set up here or going into the physical buttons here, screen layout, and now you can change the display layout of the gauge cluster. Leather wrap steering wheel, standard on all trims. Heated is only on the limited. N-Line gets its own unique steering wheel. It's perforated on the side, paddle shifts, multi-function, and the gear lever is now on the steering column, so it gives us a lot more space with a standard dual climate control with a touchpad, which is going to be pretty cool because now we're getting that 21st century. 12 volt, push it, with 2 USB ports, storage bin here, so more or less a full pass-through with the standard wireless charging pad and the key fob for the Tucson. Driver mode select, which you have a total of 4 different driving modes, starting with Snow, My Mode, Sport, and Eco. It's going to be a little bit more sporty, to be expected. It's a deep storage pocket. You keep the gloss black. If you remember, before the heated seat switches were right around this area. Now everything's more seamless on the dashboard. The large panel moonroof starts on the SEL Convenience. Auto dimming rear view mirrors starts on this trim. LED interior lights start on this trim. And the door panel will have some soft materials where it needs to be. One touch up and down for the front windows, all windows up and down on the limited trim with a long storage pocket. For the back seat, look at the room that you have to get in, as well as the space. Headroom, not going to be an issue, and you can also recline these seats back pretty far. Leg space is actually good as well, with storage net that you can fit a lot of goodies beyond the back seats, and it comes standard with USB ports in the rear, air vents with cup holders and an armrest. The door is going to be stripped of the soft materials here and that contrast stitch. You're only going to receive soft materials here with the cloth inlays right here with a beverage holder carved out. Sliding into the center, you actually have your own feet space, but if you use it like this, your knees are going to be sitting upwards, which will make it a little bit undesirable, so share some feet space. Leg space, butt space, shoulder space, knee space is taken care of. Everybody's gonna smile sitting inside the Tucson because you can fit. 225 horsepower. Come on guys, it's a hybrid. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of power for a Tucson. And you're around 3,833 pound curb weight, which isn't bad when you're considering the power that you're getting underneath the hood, because it is an increase of 38 horsepower, 17 pound-feet of torque. It may not sound like a lot, but when you're considering the type of vehicle that you're in, that's getting 35 mpgs combined and across the board, that is astonishing. Plus the same tow rate, the same payload, the same cargo capacity, everything is the same. You're just getting better MPGs and a more sporty exterior and bringing some of that sports essence to the interior. So when I'm thinking Toyota, you actually start dropping with towing capacity. The interior, it's not going to be as soft as this. The seat comfort for the bottom is going to be better in the Honda side, but you're going to pay more money for Honda. This is under 40 grand. And when you're talking about towing, this outclasses all of those vehicles. So for a practical everyday use vehicle, it's ticking the box for me. Sound deadening is pretty good. I would have liked to see an 8-speed automatic transmission instead of a 7-speed though, because I feel like you would have got a little bit better MPGs, but I do like the fact that it's 6-speed if you're trying to use it on sport mode, but it typically likes to hover at a lower or a higher RPM, I should say, so you can get quicker in your drive. but it's a hybrid at the end of the day, so I don't necessarily need it to stay at that higher RPM I'm wanting to get optimal MPGs. That's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros is the standard features, standard all-wheel drive, standard safety features that you're getting across the board, plus all that MPGs. That's amazing. The cons, it is tier based. It does come with 19-inch wheels, which some people don't necessarily like that. It doesn't really change the drive too much because you have a McPherson strut front and a multi-link rear. It's more or less taken care of in that category. I'm gonna stop for a second, throw it into sport, let these guys go because it's a hybrid. But you know what? We do have power. Put it in 2 lanes, let's rock and roll. The beauty about hybrids is not only I can do what I just did and I'm getting optimal fuel economy, but this particular model, it's actually going to be quicker than the gas variant. Now they do have a plug-in hybrid that's coming out probably in the next few weeks, which is obviously going to be better with the MPGs, but in the same category you have to plug it up. Whereas this, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just a daily practical use type of vehicle. Now on the cons, the seat comfort is going to be better in Honda. The storage pockets are a little small for my liking, but then on the Pro, you have storage that is now in the dashboard and more or less a full pass-through, as well as a storage tray that holds the standard wireless charging pad, which is also cool because it has these 3 lights that illuminate, so you know when it's charging because it'll go 1, 2, 3, the lighting, and then it will show you that it's fully charged, which makes it a little bit more easier for that day in and day out use. Because let's face it, everybody wants their phone to be 100%. I don't really mind about it, but drop a comment of what you do with your cell phone. Not a huge fan of the gear lever on the steering column, but because this is an SUV, it's picked up enough so I'm not hitting my knees on it, but my knees are going to be in the air with the seat configuration here, and it's going to be the same with Toyota. Taking me to the third reason why you should option this over Toyota and Honda is this unlocks sport and practicality together. You don't usually find those configurations in any vehicle in its class. And the last reason why I would pick this over Honda and Toyota is the adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, steering assist, frontal collision, pedestrian detection. When you let go of the steering wheel and let the vehicle drive for you, it literally will go around 2 to near 3 miles without you being engaged at all. You will not receive that at all. Even if you think about Subaru, the most you're going to get is 0.2 to 0.3 miles. That's like more than 10 times the distance with this feature, with a better value, all-wheel drive, more power, more towing capabilities, and it's a sporty SUV. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise website and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood for giving us this 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid N-Line for our car review.